Alright, here I am in my low on fuel, just rolled 100,000 kilometers, so approximately 60,000 miles, 2011 F-150 Platinum. Got some good weather today. What I have to share with you is something that happened over the weekend. I remote started the vehicle, and just to show you here, rear defrost, auto. Rear defrost will come on with the remote start. I've heard of reports of the rear defrost blowing the back window up in these cars. So I decided that I was never going to use it. So you see the button down here, rear defrost. I decided not to use it. And I thought everything was okay. Yesterday I remote started the truck. I get out of the truck and I look in the back window and I see this. You probably can't see it. Let me show you a little better back here. Oh yeah, that is shattered. So the back window blew up. There's no impact, nothing hit it, nothing touched it. If you look at it, it's nice and even. So that happened Saturday morning. I waited until this morning. It's Monday, and just afternoon. I'm just heading now to the Ford dealer to pick up the part to replace it myself. That's of course the power slider rear window. Okay, so it's a power slider. I called Ford. First I called a friend of mine at a glass company. He made a couple calls and called me back and said, Steve, call down to the Ford store. They're cheaper than we are in the glass. And I thought, well, that's strange. So I called down and the guy in parts says, wow, yeah, this happens all the time. They just blow up on their own. And he told me to come down there and pick one up. But first he said to talk to their service department because it might be covered under warranty because a lot of them blow up. He in fact had 4 in stock, right? So I talked to service and the lady quite rudely, without even asking anything, asked me my mileage. I told her, she said, well, it doesn't matter. She said, it's not covered. And she said, even if it was under factory warranty, a brand new truck, this would not be covered. Are you freaking kidding me? Go on www.carcomplaints.com and check out the complaints on this. There's 2010 must have been the year they started blowing up because it's the most complaints, but all the way up to 14 there's complaints about these windows blowing out. Mine's a 2011 and yeah, it blew up. There's people with brand new windows blowing up. So okay, I'm done with my rant. We'll get along here with the installation of this window. But I'm going to leave this video up here with this rant. I'm going to post it on every site possible and be a little bit annoying because I don't think I should have to pay for this, and I don't think other people should have to be paying for this. But in the meantime, I'm going to hang on to my receipt, and I will leave everything posted, and I will be the squeaky wheel, and I'll take my postings down if Ford does the right thing and pays for my window. But I'm pretty damn sure they won't. So let's go ahead now, and I've already pulled all the service information, and we'll go through a brief how-to on how to get this window replaced. Alright, so I just left the Ford store here. Oh yeah, well, just leaving. And it's funny, I was saying they had 4 in stock, which they did. They had one other person with a broken one today too, in a city of just over 100,000 people population, next closest city being like 3-4 hours away. So that goes to show you something. Luckily they gave me wholesale on it, so just to show you here the price. The sealant, I'm gonna just keep my name off of this, my full name, but there's the part numbers there. Okay, and there's the total, and then the total after our 13% sales tax. So that's the total repair price for me on this one. Here in Canada, of course, prices will vary. So I've gone ahead and unpacked the replacement glass. This is about what you're going to get when you buy the replacement glass from Ford. Obviously, it's the back side of the inside you're looking at with the motor taped up in that cardboard box. So that's what it looks like. And then the other thing you need is this here, the butyl tape. Okay, nice big roll to give you just enough for the window. And I'll show you the part number on that. There's your butyl tape part number. So basically the first step here is hopefully I'm going to have enough light as I go along this. I have a light anyway to help out. The first thing we're going to want to do is fold the seats upward, and you can see they kind of cack forward a bit, and that allows you to get the headrests out. So we're going to press on these buttons and release these headrests entirely. Okay, so I popped these out, and just a note on taking these headrests off. You can't take them off too easy until the seat's folded up because it kicks forward. And there's a button here you hold, and then you got to press this button here briefly, and that'll help pop everything apart. And you take them both down. And then what you're looking at inside the seat, in behind, we'll get right in here with my light. Okay, so way the heck down there, you'll see, not way the heck down there, but a good distance anyway, you'll see that clip like that, and you can see there's a rod on it. So what we do is we take that upper rod and we pull that up. So it's actually, once you pop that piece off, you'll feel the seat click, trying to pull any outward pressure on it. It seems to be a lot easier without it. Then you'll try it and the seat will be stuck. So all you do is you release this handle and pull down, the whole seat will come down. So the part you're actually flipping that you couldn't really see is right here. You just lift up on this tab. It's right on the back of the seat. It's only a few inches down, so you can get down here pretty easy with your hand and do it. And then just repeat the same on the other side to get the other side down. On the back pillars here, there's these little plastic caps. Basically just gently pry them off, and there's an 8mm bolt back in behind each one. And there it is. And you go ahead and take those out, and that'll get to start taking those pillar covers off. So after popping this up here, you'll gain access to below for this trim piece. And in behind here, you'll see one more clip. A gentle pull on the panel will remove that, no problem, without damaging it. Put that aside, and then your panel's removed and ready for unclipping. So basically just gently pull it off. So once you got this panel down, it's acceptable just to leave the seatbelt in it and just gently run it around here. If you got a really dark colored vehicle, I'd say it wouldn't be a bad idea to put a piece of towel, or put a towel or whatnot behind it to keep from scratching. And then you're going to end up with this on the side. You're going to see components for airbags. You're going to see your seatbelt components, and you'll begin to see the nuts for removing the window. Now the rest are under here, along with the motor, and obviously under the other panel and under the headliner. So we're going to take this other panel off, and then we're going to go ahead and take this back panel off and take these tethers off here, these three that are across the truck. Now we're going to pull these clips out of this panel. I've already got one. They're pretty straightforward. You just get in behind the panel, put your hand in behind it, and push out on the actual clip so you're not damaging the material, and then you pull these clips out. So there's a whole bunch of them you pull out, and then this panel will come right off. Now on the headliner, work your hand in behind it gently. Be careful on the broken glass side and pull these pins out. They're one size bigger than the pins on the or the push clips on the other components, so make sure you put those aside in a different area. Okay, so this is kind of what you're going to be left with here once you get everything popped apart. And we got our headliner lowered. We're going to try our best not to actually pull that down on this truck. We should be okay. Just getting our hand in behind there and gently undoing those without kinking the headliner, because it's really easy to overextend those and putting a big old line in them, and then your headliner is going to look like garbage. So over here though, we have our motor assembly in the center, just kind of below the center window, with the cables coming up, and they go in, just clip down in there, and then they go into these blocks that hold the window. And we'll get to that when the actual old window's removed. But what we're going to do for now is, because this cable here as you can see, runs under this electrical connector, which kind of sucks. We're going to pull these plugs all off and undo each and every plug, including the window defrost on both sides. There's a ground on one side, and we're going to just unplug all of it, and then we'll get to unbolting the motor assembly. So these bolts here in the motor are 8mm. So then you go ahead and you rattle all these out.
Oh, where'd you go?
And you just rattle all these out. Careful, there's a lot of pockets this stuff can hide. So we're going to take all these out all the way around. And then there's additional ones under the headliner. So if you gently lower the headliner like that, you can just get a 1/4 inch ratchet in there and take those out. So all these small, they're actually a 9mm socket you need for those. Once all the bolts are out, the trick is to get in between, just on the other side of the metal. So you'll see there's 2 layers of metal here, and that's your pinch weld. You don't want to bend that. So what I did is I put a scraper in here, a couple different sizes, with a screwdriver in front of it, and gave it a little bend down to even out the weight. You can see it's starting to pop out now. Have an assistant on the other side to grab it out. I've been having a hard time kind of prying on this area here where it's broken. But with the magic of video, oh wait, we don't have that here. Squishing you. Make sure someone on the other side who is helping you is disposable, because apparently this job's dangerous for them. It's starting to come in, yeah. Okay. Oh, look at that butyl. So basically, I'm going to shut the camera off so I could be of some assistance, but you see the idea here. Now, we broke the window. But maybe be a good idea if you have that going on to tape your window up. It'll just keep you from having to clean up glass. I thought it would stay together. It didn't. We're going to take these out now, top and bottom, to pull this seatbelt assembly out, because our cable goes underneath it just like it did in the wires over here. So to take it off in one shebang, we're going to pull this off and the actual recoiler portion. Little video magic there, windows out, butyl's cleaned. The stuff will kind of roll into a ball, and as you, to get the excess off, as you kind of grab it and pull it away and push it against it, the ball will get bigger and it gets quicker and quicker, and it goes pretty good. And then we just took some cleaner and cleaned it right up. So you set your new window up somewhere safe, you get your roll of butyl, and you see here, it's easy to miss. There's a little beginning and ending racetrack. So start on one end and run your butyl along it, basically something like that. See, because if you pull it, it's going to be right at the edge, which is perfect. Well, there's a little bit of gap, that's nice. And then run it all the way along. So make sure your butyl is nicely inside that groove. Don't touch it. And run it all the way around. And then when you stop at that little overlap there, so it's ready to go. Now the two of us are just gonna gently put it in and start by hand, just a couple of those nuts there, and then basically snug them down evenly and torque them. So having a friend there with a nut ready to go, and then basically just line her all up until it's in place. So with the new glass in, I gently tightened them all down, a few turns each until they were kind of where they had to be. I didn't want to overdo it. And now a couple of them just need to be like snugged right down for good. And Dan, you got a little torque wrench?
Yeah, just an inch-pound torque wrench.
Okay, and what's the torque spec of this one again?
This was 35 inch-pound.
Okay, so you tighten all your nuts down to 35 inch-pounds, and then we'll get on with actually connecting up the motor. Alright, so here we are. I'm just going to jump down from here. It's the most uncomfortable position to be in really here for that. So now we've got the motor in the box. We're going to undo that. We're going to put these clips back along the top where they were. The motor comes with, on the cables, it comes with the replacement pushing clips that I just undid. So we'll go ahead and use the new clips just so they'll be really right and tight. And we're going to mount the motor where it used to be and start plugging the wiring in. Yep, There we go. So that's easy to do. Obviously, you flop the window in. You make sure this isn't wound up or anything goofy. You put your clip and your connectors, and then this just wild and wonderful is down here, and then it's the same on the other side, minus there's no clip up there. So Dan's going to connect that ground up that's taped to the window, and then on this side I can put the connectors back in. Now on the top is where your big connector goes, and on the bottom is where your small connector goes, your different color connector, if they didn't come pre-assembled. And they give you these clips here. So plug all your connectors in and then get ready to test the window. So now's a good time to clean and test your window. Got Dan jumping in there now just to make sure we're all slidey. Hey, it works! So we're just getting her all back together and the way it came apart. So we got those headliner. Now it's basically just put this back panel on after we put the seatbelt assembly back in, and then these side covers with the screws. Word on these seatbelts: when you take it off, try to keep it from recoiling all the way. It's not a big deal if it does. You got a lot of room under the seat. You can always open it. But what's going to happen is you're going to try to take it out, and you're going to get into like a jackpot like this slowly. And I've run into this in a lot of collision repair where I've had to replace the seatbelt. You got to hold it at the exact perfect angle to be able to slowly retract it. And I mean exact, like play with it a little bit, get it right to the right angle and where it would normally hang on the vehicle. Then you can pull it out and reinstall it.
Come on.
Once you got your pillar trim back on, you can just go ahead and re-engage the seats. Now remember, when you're taking them off, it was a matter of just lifting up on this back here. And now to put them back, it's a matter of just flipping them back in. And then they stay put. Perfect. Now we know this question's going to come about, so we're going to show you how to remove the cable track assembly and replace the motor just on the bench. There's two small screws here at the bottom. Once you take your fold your seats back, so remove both those screws, and they're in these hold down assemblies for these cables. Okay, so your motor's here. Now what Dan's going to do is he's going to take a small screwdriver.
Did you have a flag?
I did. I think I took it away.
Oh, no, I got it.
He's going to take a small screwdriver here, and he's going to clamp the cable off nice and really close to where it goes through that block, okay, with a small set of vice grips.
There you go.
Now what that does, that holds tension on this side of the cable. So we're looking inside the vehicle right now at it like this, okay?
What you don't want is this to come out of here.
Yeah. The way these are designed is they can come out of here and unravel and damage your motor. And well, I guess not the motor, but more the cable or transmission assembly.
The drum is what they call it in the manual.
Oh, the drum, okay.
Yep.
So then once your screw's out, you pull back on the cable like Dan does.
Up,
yeah.
and then it won't. You see down here how it let off, but not all the way.
Oh yeah, okay. So it won't fall out of here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
Then you got some kind of keeper or whatever here. That comes out like that.
Okay, so that's one whole side of the cable disconnected. Excellent.
This side we didn't have to clamp. This has the.
Okay, this side's maxed out because the window's closed, correct?
Yeah. So this one's even easier. You just give this a little tug. Same. Keep my words here. There we go. So you just give it a little tug. That's the same thing. That pops out of there, and that's your motor.
So this section here rides down in that groove. Okay, just so you can see. So when you want to put it back in, now to reinstall, it's reversed, right? So we put this in here, and we pull this, correct?
Yeah, just pull it and it'll latch. There you go.
Yeah, it didn't latch so much. Here, you want to hold that?
Yep.
Just so we pull like this and get it to latch in. And we put our screw right in there, right?
Yep. And the
Okay.
screw just keeps it.
The screw keeps this from flopping around. So I'll go ahead and put the screw in. Okay, I'm holding it there. Perfect. Watch yourself, there's broken glass everywhere.
Broken glass everywhere.
This is crazy.
That's pretty good.
So same thing though, you just pull on this, you'll see it tug down here as he pulls. There you go. And you line it in and put your screws back in. So that's how you put your cable assembly in. So that's it. Truck's done. Windows back in, working. Give it a bath and it's ready to go.